Hey, Pushnet, new little video. This one I'm pretty satisfied, so I'm pretty happy actually. So I just finished my prototype for my the kit that I want to do. So the multi-purpose pie kind of kit concept. The first thing is that I love Stephen Covey philosophy and everything, and he always says start with the end in mind. So I had this bag here that will become I decided that's gonna be the size of kit that I want. So it has like multiple little pockets inside and out. So basically the whole kit that we're talking as the giveaway will come in a pack about this size. That's my goal. Everything, when I say everything, I mean everything. So that means HF, VHF, Raspberry. So anything that you need for communication will fit in this. That's the $500 maximum kit that I want to do and stuff. And I'll put the back because I was already purchased, but again, my purpose is to make a kit that somebody has the $500, goes into a store, buy whatever we'll have in the kit, could go. And so that will be the bag here. So out of that, my second thing, and so as you can see, the portable multi-pie prototype, that's what I'm going to call it. I like that because I keep saying the Swiss Army pie and so a portable multi-pie. I like that. It's a little bit more tongue. If you have any more ideas, though, give it to me because I'm keep trying about explaining that concept. But I really like that idea. So here's it is. So it fits in this box, and right now it's a prototype. So as you can see, it doesn't close. So size-wise, it's perfect. It just needs something a little bit deeper. And I think what's their name? Pelican has a Pelican case is about a little bit deeper. So it doesn't need much to close yet. But everything fits, and so far it works. So what do we have in there? So the first picture, as you can see here, is basically all the components of it. So what I have is the Anker Pro battery bank. And why did I went with this thing? So there's a good video by Survival Tech Nord, which I'll put down, that explained its purpose is that usually battery banks that you have, for your salad phone, Certaphone stuff, does like 5 volts and stuff. But this one does the 12 volt. It has one port that you can either do 9 or 12, so that's the beauty too, because like a lot sometime like for example, this radio is 9 volt, and so if I would want to use this bank, I could just with a press of a button change it to 9 volt. If I have the connector right here, I can charge this without blowing up a fuse like I did with the other one with my Tescon. So you can do 9 or 12 volt. So that's one advantage. Then there's like three or four port of USB connectors. So so I got this going on. Then I got 2 Raspberry Pi, and we'll explain a little bit why. And then I have a solar panel. And the solar panel you have here, it's a weird one. It's all stuff that I had here. So this is why it's a prototype. I just want to see if the concept works before I can purchase the actual stuff that I want. I want to know the size that I need and all that stuff, and if it match and all that stuff. So what you see here is the a solar panel. It's a 6 volt something, but it has a USB connection. And anyway, I won't be able to do a cable with that, so I'm gonna go buy a different one. But I know that it fits the size because I tried it on the box. So I'll be buying a separate one, and I'll be connected. And I need 2 other pieces that you don't see over here, and we'll talk a little bit more. And then right now, as a radio, just to try, I have one of my backup radio, Baofeng 5, the UV5R. And what it has, as you can see in the middle here, it's a 12 volt pack. So I think it's called a battery replacement or something like that. So what is a 12 volt pack? So when you have a radio, you can either charge. So if you have like a radio and you charge, you can recharge the battery. But by doing so, a lot of time if the batteries are discharged or recharge, first of all, if you leave it sometime, your battery will kind of lose some. So especially this is for a self-reliance situation. So you put that in your bug out bag and you come out. So the battery on your radio, you could lose some power. The second thing is that sometime by leaving it connected, the battery will lose some of its efficiency. So it's not always the best thing. The 12 volt here, what it does is that it basically there's no battery storage. It takes straight to 12 volts. So as long as you put 12 volt into it, the battery will stay on. And this is why I went with the anker, so that way I can give 12 volts to this battery constantly. And so I just click it on, leave the battery pack, and I have power. It's a pretty big battery bank, and again it has the USB. And so why did I need a USB? For this purpose. And so here what you see is the configuration. So I got 2 Raspberry Pi and 1 radio. And again, on the later project, like as I go with the prototype, if everything works and I don't blow anything up, and this is what the purpose is, I'm gonna leave it on and try with the solar and stuff. And so if I burn a Baofeng, doesn't matter, it's $30, but I don't want to buy like a decent radio and then blow that one up to learn that the concept doesn't work. So what you have here is 2 Raspberry Pi. And so why 2? One will one could be used as a computer. That's my purpose. And so this is what you see as the gray cable here, is that I could hook an external screen to it and a little keyboard, and basically now I could use one as a computer, and the other one is connected with a where do I put this? With one cable that it's called a USB. What is it called here? USB to TTL serial cable, and there's a picture of it right over here. And what it does is that it seems to, like, again, I'm not an expert on Raspberry Pi, but from what I read and everything, what it does is that it brings info and power to another device. So usually they use it with Arduino, so if you connect another Arduino, but you can use it also with a Raspberry Pi. So this is what I hope so. So as you can see here, there's like a big blob of, like, a little USB connector that comes out and connects to the other Raspberry Pi. And so so basically the info that would run on this one would be brought to the second one, and the second one would be used. So the black one that you see there, it's a special case too, so this is why the cable can come out, and it can be used as a as a computer. So that's my purpose for it, and so this one connects with the other Raspberry Pi, and they're upside down, so that one you can change. As you can see, like on the top part here, you can see that the USB port, the cards, so for those little cards, can be accessed. So even in that configuration, hook up and everything, it can come out, in and out. And this is why it's the prototype, because, like, for example, the way I first put it in didn't work. So it's really to know how to figure out things, where cables can go, and then I can figure it out, does that box match and everything, which it seems to be working. As you see here, what I have it is in the configuration of an SDR. So that's one configuration that this is why I wanted the 2 Raspberry Pi. So what it would do is that this little box on the top there brings RF signals. So you hook that to 2 different antennas if you want, or different antennas. It does, and the reason that I would like to play with this one is that it does both VHF, UHF, and HF. And so basically now the whole spectrum I can see on my thing, and I'll show a video of Com Preppers kind of explaining how this little device works, and this again, it's one of the ideas that he brought in. It would go to one Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi would bring the other information on the other card. Why do I want this? Well, on one Raspberry Pi I could run FLDG, and if you run FLDG, that means you can read all the digital modes. So that means, for example, if you plug an antenna on HF and run the communication through this, you run it to the other Raspberry Pi, look at your computer, and you cannot transmit. But again, this whole concept is more for gathering information than transmitting information. So that means now I can hear all the digital communication that comes in, and I can read it on my little computer, and I can watch and decode all the information that comes in digital. And FLDG, the beauty with it, it has pretty much all the modes that you ever want to expect and stuff. And so it's about recognizing the type. So because you have what they call a waterfall, and you see the signal, and when you see the signals, you recognize what type of digital mode it is. You can also hear it, but you run it and you see, oh, okay, this is Olivia, or no, this one is PSK, or this one is X. And so all you do is you put your FLDG in the modes that you have, and now you can watch it. So you can switch in between modes. So this is why I want two Raspberry Pi. So for example, right now in the configuration, if you put it about $60 for each Raspberry Pi plus the radio, about $30. So it runs for about $150 on our budget right now. And you have all those possibilities. Plus the radio itself can be used for radio purpose, and so, or it can be used for like for transmitting as well, or you can use it for packets. So if you connect one Raspberry Pi and then your Raspberry Pi became a TNC, so if you run, for example, stuff like Direwolf or other programs, and this is what the next videos will come, enter your Raspberry Pi, you connect your radio to the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi can run now your packet system. And again, now the other Raspberry Pi can be used more as a computer. So this is why I want that other Raspberry Pi in there, is more as a computer, as an interaction, that's sending message or things like that. So that's kind of the configuration over here. Here, as you can see, it's pretty much show a little bit how the power works. And so I have a 12 volt, the battery packs on it, hook to the directly for the radio, and so it's providing power straight. So far it works great. I got a few things that needs to come in, so I want to put, because obviously if I'm going to use that for solar, and the solar panel will be small, so my goal is hopefully that it just will be kind of a trickle. So that means we'll just recharge the battery enough to keep it up, but because the battery pack is so big and the device that are in there takes very little electricity, little energy, I hope that the battery pack will kind of balance himself. And my goal is so that kit, you could basically leave it out for a week. So hopefully that'll work. And this is what it's going to be like for the prototype. So my goal is for about a week of everything working. And this is why I'm, like I said, if I burn stuff, because what I'm going to be doing is gonna charge the bank once I have the solar panel, leave it out, and have the radio and the Raspberry Pi running, so constantly going for a week straight, and see and take like daily data on seeing, because also the beauty with the anker is that it has its own little screen that it tells you how much percentage the battery is at and stuff. So I'll be monitoring that with the charging. So hopefully that will work. Yeah, so that's the prototype. So there's a few things that needs to come before I can start playing more with it, like I do running the test. But so far in on the concept of prototype. Everything fits in the box so far. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, just leave it behind under, and I'll talk to you soon.